ask everyone just to settle down for a minute. We'll try to get through this before the heat gets too unbearable. I'm Jim Malloy. I'm the town manager, and I'm going to say a few words, and then we'll have Select Board Chair Doug Lucente, our police chief, our state representative Michelle Socolo, and our public facilities director Mike Cronin also say a few words. As most people know, I'm retiring, so this is my last public building that I'll have the pleasure to be involved with. This police station is actually the 22nd public building that I've been involved with over the course of my career. And it's a building that took the community decades, essentially, to agree to build. Discussions in the police station started a couple of decades ago. I think Mike McLean was just saying around 2007. And when we brought it before town meeting a couple of years ago, and the debt exclusion both received a lot of support from the community, which is a really great show of support. There's been some talk about the size of this building, but sometimes what isn't understood is that this isn't like buying a house where you're picking out a house for a family of four. It's something that we did a space needs analysis, and then we look for the long term, because this building is meant to last the community 50 to 75 years, as the previous police station did. I can say that in having a role in building 22 buildings over the years, I know that when you have staff that works in a brand new building, they come to work with a more positive attitude, and what that does, it translates to the level of services that we directly provide to the community. I've also heard that they don't build public buildings like they used to. And that's true. We build them better, more efficient, more sustainable than we used to build them. And I think that this building and the staff that will be working in here will be providing great services to all of you for decades to come. And so all I can really say is congratulations to the community on another fine building that we have constructed. With that, I ask Doug Lucente to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Jim. It's good background music. Good morning, everyone. I'm deeply honored to stand here today on the brand new grounds of the Lexington Police Station, representing the Select Board on behalf of my colleagues Joe Paddo, Susie Berry, who can't be with us today, Jill Hay, and Mark Sandine. And before I dive into the details of this project, I just want to reflect real briefly on a different kind of teamwork that we saw last night. As we all know, the Boston Celtics clinched the NBA championship after many, many years of coming very close, but they demonstrated excellent teamwork, and you can see what you can achieve when you work together. And today we're celebrating a different victory, but one of teamwork and perseverance for Lexington, and I'm also equally impressed by the results. So today we're gathering under the warm sun in June, and it's going to get even warmer later on today. And it reminds me of all the warm and heated discussions that we had about this project for many decades. So from the public meetings to individual feedback sessions, every step of this journey has been marked by a passionate form of community engagement and thoughtful deliberation. So we're standing in front of a state-of-the-art facility today, but it's important that we look at the past, present, and future through the lens of this project. So the story began in 2011. Maybe it was 2007, but I had 2011, when we realized that our old facility that was built in the 1950s could no longer meet the needs of the growing town. My own journey with the project started in March of 2017. I was on the Select Board all of 48 hours, and we had our first rare Friday morning meeting, where we were evaluating potential sites for the police station. One option was 173 Bedford Street. The other option was here. That started a journey for me filled with lots of challenges, debates, and lots of collaboration. In March of 21, we paused the project so that we could engage the community in outreach, and we were seeking to understand our residents' concerns and aspirations for policing and for this new facility. The feedback was enlightening. Many members of the community shared thoughts on how we could create a police station that not only serves the center for law enforcement, but also fosters trust and community support. By October of 21, we gathered extensive feedback, and we actually used that feedback to refine the plans for this building. The engagement by the community led to very significant changes in the project design, and we made the station more welcoming. We created flexible locker rooms, a space for potential collaboration with mental health professionals. We also received lots of input about Fletcher Field next door and the Hosmer House, which I think we're almost standing on the Hosmer House's old location right here. And we talked a lot about solar canopies, and we used this feedback to guide us in our decision making, and also our commitment to sustainability for the town. This project ended up persevering, obviously, despite the numerous hurdles. Between relocating the Hosmer House, the financial and logistical challenges, we finally moved the Hosmer House in November 22, and that was really a pivotal moment for this project to continue to move forward. We culminated our efforts in January of 23 when we had our groundbreaking ceremony, which was followed by a topping off ceremony in March of 23. There was lots of milestones along the way, and really what was consistent here was the dedication and hard work of everybody involved. I just want to take a moment to express gratitude towards some of those that made it possible. First, we have Jeff McElravy, which I never say right, even after 7 years, of Tecton Architects and his team for their design and commitment to the project. Thank you, Jeff. We had Pat Goddard and Mike Cronin, our directors of public facilities, and their teams for their steadfast management of this project. Our police chiefs, thank you, Mike and Pat. Our police chiefs, Mark Core and Mike McLean, for their leadership and focus during this project. And our town managers, Carl Valenti and Jim Malloy, for their guidance and support throughout all the phases of this project. I also want to thank my fellow select board members, including our past select board members, Michelle Sicolo, Peter Kelly, Norman Cohen, and many others for their unwavering support throughout this process. And a special thanks to Joe Pato, who partnered with me for the community outreach after we paused this project. The efforts to ensure that decisions were made that reflected the voices of the residents was very important. I also want to thank the neighbors for the input on the solar canopy designs, which was invaluable to ultimately getting that piece of the project completed. There were so many committees involved in this, but I do want to thank a few, the Permanent Building Committee, who really worked hand in hand with the Facilities Department and our architectural team. Thank you to them. Our Historic District Commission for their collaboration and their ultimate flexibility with what this building looked like and whether we kept the existing walls or took them down. Appreciate their help with that. And finally, the Capital Expenditures Committee and Appropriation Committee for their advocacy support, which were crucial to get the funding necessary for this project. And finally, the voters of Lexington who supported the project and made this a reality. So as we cut the ribbon today, we're not just opening a new building, but we're opening a new chapter for Lexington's history, where we can come together as a community to represent safety, justice, and a future for our residents, And I hope the police staff enjoys this new space, and I hope it paves the way for some excellent new employees to our workforce. And thank you for your service to our Lexington Police Department, and thank you for everything you do. We really appreciate you. And let's look forward to continued growth and success for Lexington. Thank you.
Representative Sicolo?
Good morning, everyone. What a terrific day. And where's your Celtics green? I absolutely love following on Doug's heels because he does such a comprehensive job thanking all the people that need to be thanked and recognizing all the folks who are involved. So I really get to stand up here and say ditto and essentially echo what he said. as Doug mentioned, I was on the board 6 years ago when we were working on this, and over the tenure of my time here. And it's nice to be at a ribbon cutting for something I had a little bit of involvement in. But truthfully, the people that did all the heavy lifting are the staff, the police department in particular. And I wanted to call them out because not only do they have to do their jobs every single day, but they also have to work on building a building, which is another full-time job. It's an enormous undertaking. And it shows their efforts and how successful they were in accomplishing this incredible building. You know, I'm always very, very proud of our community when I see what we do together. It's not an easy task, as Doug outlined. The stops and starts, the difficulties, the hard questions, the budget and funding, the neighbors. These are very difficult competing interests that you have to overcome to get to this day, this glorious day when we have a fabulous new building. And I just want to thank you all for your efforts. I know that the volunteers in this community make it happen, along with the incredible staff. And I have a citation to read. I will also say that Representative Ken Gordon wishes he could be here today, but he couldn't. And Senator Cindy Friedman is here, and she will make some remarks after I read the citation. So, from the Commonwealth of Mass, House of Representatives, be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to the Lexington Police Department in recognition of the ribbon cutting for the new Lexington Police Headquarters. May this state-of-the-art facility empower and support all of those who serve our community with unwavering dedication and honor. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. Given this 18th day of June, 2024, at the State House, signed by Speaker of the House Ronald Mariano and by myself, Michelle Socolo.
Thank you, Michelle, and ditto for everything she said. I did point out to the good fire chief that this building looked a little bigger than the fire station. He was very gracious, but he did point out that his office was 10 square feet smaller than the police chief, but nobody's counting. In all seriousness, this is wonderful, and I just want to say that we are expecting so much from law enforcement, and their roles have changed so significantly over the past 20 or 30 years. And when a community comes together and acknowledges that through support, one of them being the space in which you do your business, is really, really important. It means that we care about what you do. While we hold you to high standards, we want to support you in doing the work that the community is asking of you. So I'm once again extremely proud to represent Lexington, and I congratulate you on this day. Thank you.
Next up is Mike McLean, our Chief of Police, who has been intimately involved in what actually goes into the building and how it's laid out. So, Mike?
Thank you very much for everybody for coming here today. I should have looked at the agenda first and went before Mr. Lucente because I got to thank him. He stole like every single talking point I had. So it might be better than, I can shorten this up a little bit. So what I would like, again, thank you for everyone to come today. And one thing that just sticks with this project, not having a lot of experience in big projects like that, just the collaboration of the community, the different boards, the committees and the citizens groups that came together to make this happen. I think almost everybody here had some sort of part in this, including my fellow SMT leaders who really have been great to me during the time and giving support. So again, get back. At the end of the day, it says police department on the front of this, but it really is a community building. I understand this project never could have happened without the overwhelming support of everyone in the community. And this is something that means a lot to the staff who works in the building. We understand that the community and the town really do support us, and just having this in here and having everybody available to come into the station really means a lot to us. And to touch on Doug's point a little bit too, is like to take a thoughtful pause in the middle of a project can be difficult, but it really made this project very unique in the fact that we did reopen it up to community engagement and what would you like to see in your department. And as a result, I mean, we did get some really things that are going to not only benefit the police department and the efficiency in the way that we deliver services to the community, but people wanted a more welcoming lobby, which as we go inside, you'll see it's a beautiful space. There is a community multi-purpose room where we can have community meetings, but we can also host training sessions for our offices and departments around. And upstairs to have integrated clinicians and other civilian advocates is really going to help us really just beef up the way that we deal with current problems like mental health and other things of that situation. So it really is unique. So it really just, this town has made a commitment to building high quality projects that really are going to be the benchmark for other communities when they're thinking about doing new police departments. I know people are going to come in here and want to see this. So again, thank you to everybody. And also touched on, right now, one of our biggest challenges is recruiting and retention. So having a state-of-the-art facility with best practices and officer wellness stations within it, it's going to make Lexington Police a really an attractive place for people to come. So we're looking forward to that. So Ms. Lucente did a good job of talking about all the different groups and committees. I know if I get into that, I am going to forget about some certain people. So thank you to everybody. So I'm not getting into the specifics, but there are some people who I would like to say thank you specifically to. I know it's helped not only the project, but me help during the whole project is Jeff and Matt from Tecton. As you can see, this is a beautiful building, state of the art, but believe it or not, we had a few meetings on this building and the design in town. I know it's hard to believe, but with the many revisions and edits though, to make sure that this building really played to the historic aspect of the town of Lexington, as well as making sure that it fits into the town office building campus. I think they did an outstanding job. So again, thank you to Jeff and Matt. I'd like to thank Leo Gallant, who is he's the project manager for CTA Construction. He's done a great job of communicating with us. And again, building in Lexington Center can be very challenging at times, and him and his crew has done a great job of pushing that forward. Jim Malloy, obviously our town manager. Again, being a new chief, I really didn't have any sort of experience working on a project like that. And Jim, with his vast experience of multiple buildings, he was really a great sounding board for me, advised me on ways to go on things, and again, really was a champion for the project and helped set up a lot of the community meetings, which I think were vital in making sure that we were successful in the project. Obviously, to the members of the select board, past and present. Again, I know it's difficult because a project of this size and magnitude, you got a lot of input from the community, you got a lot of input from staff, and you got a lot of input from the station on what was needed. And I think just your thoughtfulness and questioning and making sure that the department was not only meeting the needs, but of the staff to make sure that we can deliver high quality services really is appreciated. And I thank you for that. Mike Cronin is going to be getting an honorary member of the Lexington Police Department. I don't know what that will include, but yes, fine, maybe a locker. But Mike, really, I can't say enough about the way Mike and his staff took control of this project. Honestly, he put blood, sweat, and tears into it as if this was going to be the new head of facilities. So I can't say enough about Mike. I mean, especially his transparency through the project with not only select board, the staff and the community, and making sure we were having those meetings, especially when it came to the solar panels, was really, really important for the process. And again, I know there's going to be a ton of questions about this new station, and we're going to continue to follow the example that Mike has set. So thank you, Mike, to you and your staff. And I'd also like to thank the current and past staff of the Lexington Police Department because, believe it or not, with the officers, even we have working now, we have hundreds of years of experience in policing. So it really was important during the whole process to share the plans with the staff and get everybody's input to say what they think they need to make sure that they're working at their most efficient to serve the community as well. And this wasn't just officers who are in there now. We're talking about staff who have recently retired. We reached out to them, and they really did do a great job. And to Michelle's point, their professionalism during this this whole process has been great. I mean, we've been very fortunate again as a town to have a beautiful swing space up at 173 Bedford Street that a lot of towns don't enjoy. So it's getting a little tight up there. It's been 2 years, so I think we're all ready to come down and get away from each other a little bit. But thank you to all of them. And there's a couple of people I would like to give special thanks to. Chief Mark Kaur, who really, he put a lot of effort into getting this project started and in the planning phase of everything like that. So we did, and also John Masral, who's our current captain of administration. I put a lot of this down on John of just being a liaison between vendors, meetings, committees, and making sure that we're not forgetting about everything. We don't think we did right now, but I guarantee once we move in here, there are going to be some aha moments where we say, oh, geez, I wasn't thinking about that, and I wish we did. But, thank you to John. And again, at the end, town meeting members, their support and their overwhelming support of the project with the vote, multiple committees, boards, citizens groups. I know a lot of people put effort into this, and it couldn't be done without everybody's help and support. So thank you, and I'm looking forward to showing everybody the building inside. Thank you.
And last but not least, Mike Cronin, and as Chief McLean said, Mike has really put his whole heart into this building and has worked really hard to provide the community with the very best building for years to come.
And as you all know, I hate heat, so this is not my exact ideal day. Right, turn the AC on. So Doug stole some thunder here. I want to talk a little bit about the Celtics and teamwork. They did a lot of what the Celtics did during the championship run. No player was a runaway MVP. The same could be said about the team that was involved in the idea, development, construction of this fantastic facility. There was no one MVP. This was about teamwork from the entire community. I'd first like to acknowledge the many boards and committees that were part of the development of the building. While identifying the guest list for today's ribbon ceremony cutting, I was working with Kathy, Kelly, and Jim on the guest list, and we were going through all the different committees. And when we started to get to 20 different committees for invites that were particularly involved in this, we stopped counting. I was kind of blown away by the involvement from the community here. It's really terrific. This building could not have been built without you all. And I want to thank you for all of your input and especially your patience. We know some of those meetings can be tough. The next batch of players were the architects and the engineers who painstakingly toiled on every detail. Tecton Architects, as you all know, designed the fire headquarters, did a masterful job working with the HDC, the neighbors, the police department to develop not only a beautiful building, but one that will serve the town for decades to come. Thank you to Jeff McElravy and Matt. I'd also like to thank the rest of his team. I'd also like to thank Mike and Steve from Jordan Whittier, our owner's project managers. Mike, I think you're here somewhere. Thank you. I appreciate your help. And then from CTA, our general contractor, there is Jeff, Kevin, and Leo. You're here somewhere. Thank you all. I appreciate your help. The next department that had a significant imprint on this project was, of course, the police department. The input from Mike and John and the rest of the staff was essential. We could not have done this without you. We appreciate your attention to every detail and decision. You've been terrific partners. Thank you. Lastly, but definitely not least, I'd like to thank the town of Lexington staff. I believe you've had contributions from every department while working on this project. I'd like to say a special thank you to finance, purchasing, especially inspectional services. They must have 1,000 inspections in this building. And especially DPF, the project manager, Mark Barrett. You've done a masterful job. Thank you. Where are you, Mark? Thank you. I hope I didn't forget anybody or groups. If I did, it's not intentional, and I'm sorry. It's been a terrific privilege to work on this project. Thank you.
All right, so last week we took the fence down, and now we're opening the doors, so everybody's welcome to go in and take a look at this fantastic new police station. Oh, we're gonna cut a ribbon first. Never mind, you can't go in until we cut the ribbon and these guys move.